This weekend, Hamas released a statement and photo appearing to show the body of a female Israeli hostage they claim was killed during operations by Israel's military in Gaza. The IDF now investigating. They say they cannot verify or refute the group's claims. To date, there are still 101 hostages in Gaza that were taken on October 7th of last year. Here with us is Yehuda Cohen, the father of Nimrod Cohen, who was just 19 years old when he was taken hostage on October 7th. First, sir, thank you so much for coming on. It's been 415 days since your son was taken. I want to ask you first how you're doing, and have you heard anything about him since?
How are we doing? We are fighting. It's more than a year. I'm concentrating in fighting to get a hostage deal so my son will be free again. And don't remember the second question?
Just, have you heard anything about him recently?
Well, the last thing we heard about Nimrod from Army intelligence, they're giving us what they call sign of life. Last thing we got sign of life from him is from mid-July. Nothing since then. If we'll take it a little bit back, we from hostages return in November, we heard word some of them saw him there alive and well. So we know he was taken healthy, he was not injured. And a long time until mid-July, we got from the Army a sign of life. That's what they call it. They pin it to a date, but without giving any detail, not to expose sources.
Your son, Nimrod, has a twin sister. How is she doing? How is your wife doing? How are you all keeping it together?
Well, we're trying to cope. Nimrod's sister is currently serving in the Army. So she is there. Me and my wife are coping mainly by advocating. That means going everywhere here in Israel, to media, protesting in the streets, speeches, going to the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, and abroad trying to advocate with officials, especially in the United States. I've just been last week in Washington, talking to senators and senator representatives, and even House members like Nancy Pelosi. Met her in person, trying to advocate and push for a hostage deal.
I want to mention the recent headline I mentioned a moment ago. Hamas is claiming that a female hostage has been killed as a result of Israeli operations in Gaza. The IDF now investigating. You're the father of a young man being held by Hamas. I have to ask you, what goes through your mind when you hear news like this?
Well, I'm trying not to get distracted by rumors and, Hamas announcements, which are kind of psychological terror on us. I'm trying to stay focused to get to the end of this tragedy, to get to the end of this hostage issue. Of course, we're talking about a woman that Hamas announced who was killed, taking us back to end of August, where 6 hostages were assassinated due to IDF keep maneuvering in the Gaza Strip. There was big demonstration there then. We know that previously hostages were killed directly or indirectly because of the IDF operations, either shooting hostages who released themselves, shooting them by IDF soldiers without checking first who are they shooting at. Hostages who were suffocated in tunnels because of smoke after bombing, after IDF bombing. We need to end it. I mean, we have a lot of details to talk about, but the big picture is we have to end it. We have to be focused on action to end this situation of hostages and not be distracted by details. Of course, it's women that announced killed. It's not my son, but it must end for everybody.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.